I feel like the medical industry really didn't start testing things until like maybe the 2000s. I don't know.
Mhm. Yeah, I
But
can feel that.
I feel like we were basically just part of one big science experiment.
Yeah, pretty much. And what's scary is that we're still dealing with the after effects of that today. Like, who wants to talk about this? Who wants to know this, right?
This is just so infuriating. Like as if not, and especially when you're trying to feed a family, right? When you have kids, it's
Mhm.
like as if trying to make good, healthy choices wasn't hard enough. Then you have to worry about the companies that are trying to BS you with their clever marketing.
Yeah,
And I know I've fallen for that before.
yeah.
Welcome to Drinks with the Girls, conversations for women over 40 around connection, change, and the power of female friendship. Living well with stories to tell. I'm Karen, and this is Lisa.
We are moms and solopreneurs stepping into our own, diving into real conversations about things that matter to women in midlife.
We're here to spill the tea on everything that affects women in their 40s and beyond. Topics like loss and grief, changing relationships, launching kids, menopause, and reinventing ourselves in midlife. We are here to tackle it all.
Connect with us through a blend of our lived experiences, our friendship, the memory of our moms, plus a collection of real stories, honest conversations, and engaging interviews that will make women over 40 feel seen and remind them that they're not alone on this journey called life. Let's go.
Hey, listeners, welcome back to Drinks with the Girls, where midlife is fun, bold, and a little rebellious. I'm Karen.
And I'm Lisa. So, you know what time of year this is, peeps? It's Halloween. And 'tis the season for Halloween horror. And we've got a real-life horror show for you today. Good times. This episode is going to give you some major food for thought because we are talking about something you may not even realize is affecting you, and that is the hidden toxins in the everyday products we use, from our household cleaners to the food we eat. Yep, all the hidden nasties in your cleaners, your skincare, your hair care, your makeup, and even the groceries you thought were safe. Why does everything we touch, eat, and use come with an invisible risk? I have to ask.
I just want to say some other things. Anyway.
At least you can.
Yeah, this is a huge issue, and we're going to dive deep into how these toxins ended up in our products, what research is revealing about their impact, and what steps you can take to detox your home and your body. It's wild. While I'm aware of the importance of looking at what's in my products, I have to admit I am not the best at making changes. I really just kind of look at whatever shampoo smells the nicest. I feel like I need a PhD in chemistry just to shop for skincare.
Yep, true story. And stick around until the end because we've got some resources, and I have a special invitation to a free webinar where I will be breaking all this down even further. But first, what is in our beautiful glasses today, Karen? What are you drinking?
I am drinking a Zevia 0-calorie soda, strawberry flavor.
Yum.
And it's my first time, and it's delicious.
I'm excited to try that flavor. I'm boring tonight because I really was overdoing it on the caffeine today, and I was like, alcohol isn't going to fix that. So I'm doing detox tea, right? And I actually feel like that's a good theme that we're going to need it because buckle up, peeps. We're going to dive deep into a topic that's going to have you side-eyeing, sorry, Karen, every bottle in your bathroom, pantry, and under your sink.
It's one of the beautiful things about midlife. You get really good at listening to your body,
Mm-hmm.
knowing when you need the detox. Okay, Lisa, let's set the stage here. And this is your total jam. And full transparency, it's not really something that's on my radar. So you can educate me right along with our listeners today. I do feel like every time we turn around, we find something that we've been using for years is secretly filled with stuff that's not good for us. And it's usually those ingredients that we can't pronounce that are the culprit.
Yeah, exactly. It's frustrating. It's like, wait, that lotion I've been using for decades has what in it? And what's worse is that many of these ingredients aren't even necessary, right? They're just cheaper alternatives to safer options. So let's start with a little history lesson. How did we get here? How did these toxic ingredients become so ingrained in our daily lives? It's honestly a combination of industrialization, the rise of convenience products, and some serious gaps in regulation. Back in the 50s and 60s, when consumerism was booming, companies started pushing synthetic ingredients in everything from cosmetics to packaged foods. It was all about making things cheaper, faster, more shelf stable.
The almighty dollar.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, I remember growing up in the 70s and the 80s, and everything was about convenience. Like, remember those TV dinner meals?
Oh, yeah.
God. But instant meals, the hairspray, Aquanet that would hold our hair in place for days. Oh my gosh, the 80s. How could we have done those hairstyles without Aquanet?
See prior episodes on the 80s.
And also cleaners that promised to disinfect everything in seconds, right? But no one was thinking about what was actually in these products. I mean, for God's sake, people still smoked. So,
yeah. Exactly. You're 100% right. And frankly, during that time, there wasn't much concern about long-term health risks. The focus was on making products last longer, look better, work faster. The problem is that many of those chemicals hadn't been thoroughly tested for their impact on human health over time.
I feel like the medical industry really didn't start testing things until like maybe the 2000s. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can feel that.
I feel like we were basically just part of one big science experiment.
Yeah, pretty much. And what's scary is that we're still dealing with the after effects of that today. Like, who wants to talk about this? Who wants to know this, right? So a lot of those ingredients are still in use. And it's only in the past few decades that research has begun to catch up and reveal just how harmful they can be.
It's so sneaky. And this really chaps my hide, how the food and cosmetic industry jeopardize our health for the almighty dollar. I mean, we grew up trusting that if it's on the shelf, it's safe. But the more we learned, the more it feels like we've been lied to.
Yeah, I know. And the tricky part is the labels don't help either. Everything's labeled as natural or gentle. And it's honestly just misleading. How many times have you picked up something because it looked like a healthy choice only to realize later that it's just clever marketing?
Oh, that fries me too. Here we are trying to make healthier choices, and we can't because companies are not totally transparent. But that's what we're here to unpack today. How to spot the BS and start making better choices, because it's not about perfection. It's about awareness and baby steps.
Absolutely. And it's important to know that because we've worshipped at the altar of convenience for so long, it's not just about fast food or quick, clean products. It's about the synthetic chemicals that make it all possible. Research has been coming out for years now showing links between the everyday use of these chemicals and long-term health issues. One study published in Environmental Health Perspectives found that people who use a lot of personal care products with certain chemicals were more likely to have reproductive health issues, including hormone imbalances.
Hormone imbalances are no joke, as we all know here at Drinks with the Girls. It can affect everything: your energy, your weight, your mood, even your sleep. And what's crazy is, like you said earlier, we're not just talking about rare or obscure chemicals. These are in products that millions of women use every single day.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, it's not just reproductive health. There's a growing body of evidence linking these toxins to neurological problems, autoimmune diseases, and even some types of cancer. One study I came across looked at women who regularly use hair dyes and straighteners, and it found that women who use these products frequently had a higher risk of developing breast cancer. My name is Lisa Corachella McDowell, and I'm not just a healthy smoothie girl. Check out nextlevellifewithlisa.com, my website and centerpiece for all that I do. Connect with me about my free classes, the fabulous health and wellness products I have, literacy work, special education advocacy, and social media. I try to live my truth and put it all out there authentically. And for a special offer, go to nextlevellifewithlisa.com/podcast for some exclusive goodies for my Drinks with the Girls listeners. See you there.
That is terrifying. I mean, think about how often women color their hair or use these products, right? We're talking about something that is part of so many women's beauty routines.
Yeah. And again, sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but it's not just hair products. Household cleaners are another major offender. The fumes from some of these products can cause respiratory issues over time, and some ingredients have been flagged as potentially carcinogenic. And let's not forget about the endocrine disrupting chemicals that we mentioned earlier, which can interfere with your body's natural hormone production. So let's dive into it. Again, we said it was going to be a horror story. We're not kidding. So the first thing we have to acknowledge is that toxins are everywhere, right? It's not just your makeup bag. It's your cleaning supplies, your groceries, your hair care. These products are packed with things that, when you really break it down, are questionable at best.
Yeah, this is some scary shit. And it's crazy. Like, I know you've been doing some serious research into this for a while now. And so, what was one of the most shocking things that you've learned recently?
Yeah, it's true. So to backtrack a little bit, about 7 years ago, I was faced with the double whammy of skin cancer and stomach problems that would regularly land me in the hospital. And I got fed up and I started researching the causes and talking to medical professionals. And what I learned was pretty dang intense. They're everywhere. They're in everything from our food supply to our hand lotion.
I've definitely noticed that too. It's almost like you can't trust anything. Even stuff that's supposed to be healthy ends up having hidden stuff in it.
Right. And let's not forget how this all adds up. Maybe a little this or that doesn't seem harmful on its own, but over time with constant exposure, it can create real health issues.
Which brings me to this. I think we've been conditioned to believe that a little bit of this or a little bit of that is okay. But when we're using these products daily on our skin, in our homes, feeding it to our families, it's just not a little bit anymore. It's cumulative.
Yeah. And that's the kicker, really. It's the constant exposure. We're exposed in so many ways through touch, through what we eat, what we breathe in. Our bodies can handle a lot, but they're just not designed to be constantly detoxifying from the onslaught of chemicals we encounter every day. One of the biggest issues with these chemicals is something called bioaccumulation. And what this means is that even if you're only exposed to small amounts of these toxins every day, they build up in your body over time. Your liver and kidneys do their best to filter out toxins, but they can't always keep up, especially when we're bombarding our bodies with so many different substances.
That's the scariest part to me. You don't even notice it's happening. It's not like you're going to use one cleaner or one lipstick and immediately feel sick. It's the slow buildup that can take years, sometimes decades, to manifest in serious health issues.
Just because this is the Halloween episode, I have to go there. I saw this graphic once that said, women eat an average of a pound of lipstick a year. So make sure something you want to put in your body. Isn't that nasty?
Wow.
I know, right? So again, that's why it's important to take control of what we're putting in on our bodies, even if it feels overwhelming at first.
I think a lot of people assume that if the product's on the shelf, it's been tested, it's proven safe, but that's not always the case.
Yeah. In fact, in the US, the FDA doesn't require companies to prove that many of these chemicals are safe because they're used in cosmetics or household products. Instead, it's up to the consumers and third-party researchers to raise the alarm after problems arrive. And this is called, the reactive approach to regulation. And it's why, frankly, you'll see a product get recalled only after people have been using it for a while.
That is such a broken system. You'd think companies would have to prove something is safe before it gets into people's homes, not after.
Right? You'd think. And here's the thing. In contrast, countries in the European Union have much stricter standards. They follow something called the precautionary principle, which means that they take a better safe than sorry approach. So if there's any doubt about the safety of an ingredient, it's banned until it's proven safe. As a result, the EU has banned or restricted thousands of chemicals in personal care products. I think they're up to like 2,000. And while in the US, we banned a handful, like less than 30. It's pretty crazy.
This is like infuriating. Like this is so obviously our country doesn't care about us. That's the message I'm getting.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
I was just going to say, yeah. Again, true Halloween episode.
Yeah, scary. I'm scared. This is getting real fast. And for me, I think I don't make lasting changes because it just feels so overwhelming. Almost like everything is bad for us, so why bother? I'm way better, though, with checking the labels on my food than with my products I use. But I know it can be manageable with effort. I think maybe I'm a little bit lazy, too. But do we have to throw out everything we own and start over?
No, of course not. You just got to be smart about it and start where you can, like anything, right? Like habit forming. Just make small shifts. And again, that's why I'm going to help people with something I'll be talking about at the end of this episode. It's called the Toxic Graveyard Webinar, but we'll get to that. So,
hey, fabulous Drinks with the Girls listeners, guess what? We have something exciting happening here at Drinks with the Girls. We have a way for you, our listeners, to be involved. We would love you to be a part of our Drinks with the Girls support team. Creating a sisterhood of empowered women is our goal, and we are so grateful you are here. But we need your help to grow this incredible community that we have a big and bountiful vision for.
You can help us get the word out about Drinks with the Girls because we want all women to feel the support of our powerful community behind them. Here's what you need to do. Go to your favorite podcast platform and subscribe or follow Drinks with the Girls if you haven't already. We need you to share every episode we put out.
We would love for you to do this, especially when a particular episode resonates with you and or brings to mind someone you care about that you think would benefit from listening to it. Share with a girlfriend via text, share to your email newsletter, share on your socials, share from the rooftop. Every share is a chance for all women around the world to feel connected and supported by our Drinks with the Girls sisterhood.
The other thing you can do is officially join our Pod Squad email list. That will help you in two ways. First off, every time a new episode drops, you'll get an email with info on the topic, so it reminds you to tune in and listen with an easy-to-follow link. But it's also an easy format to hit forward on and share with some of your favorite people so they can easily access the newest episode. That link is always included in our show notes for you.
We are so excited to have you as part of the Drinks with the Girls Pod Squad support team. We are all in this together. Cheers!
Cheers! But first, we need to talk about where this all starts. Our mindset about quote-unquote clean products and what to avoid.
Yes, let's talk about that mindset, Lisa. So I know that the labels don't always tell the whole truth, but it's hard to be skeptical of everything I buy.
Yeah, that's a great point. So the first shift is awareness, right? Realizing that just because something is labeled as natural or safe doesn't mean it is. The second shift is empowerment. Once you know what's going on, you can start making different choices.
It's like we've been asleep and now we're waking up. And we don't have to just take whatever's on the shelf anymore. We can vote with our dollars and make better choices, and we can hit them where it hurts in the wallet.
Yeah, you go, girl. And honestly, it doesn't have to be overwhelming. You don't have to toss everything in your house. Like I said, just start small, one product at a time.
Yeah. For me, one of the things I did do was swap out some of my household cleaners. I figured if I'm wiping this stuff all over my counters and we're all touching it, eating off it, maybe I should know what's actually in it. So I use Simple Green and Mrs. Meyer's, but am I being bamboozled?
It's a great place to start. Cleaning products are often loaded with some of the worst offenders. And the thing is, there's so many amazing alternatives out there, non-toxic, effective, and affordable.
So what is the one product you think we should all replace right now?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I would say pick something that you put on your skin every day. Skincare, body lotion, even hair products, right? Because most people don't know that the skin is actually the body's largest organ. And anything you put on it absorbs into your bloodstream, wait for it, in under a minute. So read your labels, make sure what you are putting on your body is something that you are okay with absorbing into your bloodstream, because it definitely doesn't just stay on the surface.
Okay, so what is the best way to even start reading labels? I feel like everything has a million ingredients and I'm not familiar with most of them. And here's the other thing, I want it to work. And I feel sometimes natural products don't do what I want them to do, especially when it comes to skincare. But maybe that's a myth.
Yeah. And you're not alone. Honestly, it can be overwhelming. So my advice is to start with the big red flags, right? Do the big picture stuff. So my trick, and I suggest it, is if you can't pronounce it and it sounds like something from a science lab, maybe do a little digging, right? But don't stress about memorizing every ingredient out there. The more you get familiar with reading labels, the easier it'll become. And stay tuned for a way to cheat that.
That's so helpful. Baby steps, right?
Exactly.
Okay, don't kill me, but I honestly don't look at what is in all my cosmetics.
Yeah. And your body will respond when you start giving it better stuff, right? So for example, my experience with hair care, right? My hair started to get pretty limp and lifeless when I was in my late 40s. And because of that, I switched to using hair care without petroleum derivatives and preservatives. It's incredible how much different it looks and feels.
That is a great example. It's not just about being healthier. It's about feeling better too, right? And cleaner products can make a difference.
Yeah.
Sounds
sure.
like.
Yep. Now, again, with the horror story, we can't talk about toxins without mentioning the food industry. Hello. So from pesticides on our fruits and veggies to preservatives in packaged foods, toxins are everywhere in our diets, I'm sad to say. And just like with beauty and cleaning products, these chemicals can bioaccumulate in our bodies.
What is the deal with pesticides? I've heard a lot about how they're linked to various health issues, but it feels like no one's really sure what's safe and what's not.
Pesticides are tricky because they're designed to kill pests, right? Duh. But they can also have harmful effects on humans. So long-term exposure to certain pesticides has been linked to everything from neurological disorders to increased cancer risks. And the worst part is, even washing your produce doesn't always get rid of those chemicals. Some of them are absorbed into the skin of the fruit or vegetables, so you're still ingesting them.
I mean, I can see just with the amount of fruit trees and things we have here that, I mean, we don't use any pesticides or anything. And it's notable because everybody's eating all my stuff.
All the things.
But yes, all the things. But so what can people do? Buying organic? Is that the answer?
So buying organic is definitely one way to reduce your exposure to pesticides, but right, it's not always affordable or accessible for everyone. The other thing is, different countries have different rules about what it is to be certified organic. I'm in air quotes here. And now that the world is truly connected by a global supply chain, that has to be taken into consideration. So another option that I like to recommend to people is to focus on the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. These are lists put out by the Environmental Working Group that rank the fruits and vegetables with the most and least pesticide residues. One of the things I teach people is if it has something you peel on it, then you don't necessarily have to buy organic. So examples of fruits would be bananas or oranges, right? Like you're not going to eat those whole. Apples, you may want to think about, right? The other thing is if it is a root vegetable or grows in the ground, like a potato, think about that. It has much more exposure to pesticides because of that, right? So that's another way to think about it. The other thing we need to talk about is something called greenwashing. And we alluded to this before, but this is when companies market their products as natural or eco-friendly, when in reality, they're just not much better than the alternatives. They might slap a green label on a product, use buzzwords like pure, organic, natural, right? But when you look at the ingredient list, it's still full of synthetic junk. Like my daughter will do this. No, mom, but it says it's natural. And I'm like, okay, let's look at the sugar content, right? Like I'm trying to teach her, you can't just look at the marketing.
This is just so infuriating. Like as if not, and especially when you're trying to feed a family, right? When you have kids, it's like as if trying to make good, healthy choices wasn't hard enough. Then you have to worry about the companies that are trying to BS you with their clever marketing.
Yeah.
And I know I've fallen for that before.
Yeah, no, for sure. You're not alone. And that's why it's so important to educate yourself on what to look for and not just rely on the front of the package, right? So, for example, look for certifications in the US like USDA Organic, EWG verified, and I'll put a bunch of these in the show notes, Leaping Bunny certified for cruelty-free products. And when it comes to personal care products, there are apps like Think Dirty or EWG's Skin Deep, and that can help you scan products and see how clean they really are.
My name is Karen Shatafian, and I am a shameless coffee addict and empowerment coach for women, and my love language is authenticity. My mission is helping women unapologetically design a life they're in love with. Because what the hell are we waiting for? My website, KarenShatafian.com, has all my coaching packages and free offers like my midlife reclamation guide. In it, you'll find tools to help you decide how to create the most inspired and empowered version of yourself and your life. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram talking about ways women can show up for themselves after decades of showing up for everyone else. Join me as we throw off the shackles and live our best freaking lives. See the show notes for all the details. Cheers.
Another area where toxins come into play is gut health, right? More research is showing that what we eat and the toxins in our food can seriously disrupt our gut biome. And this is the collection of bacteria in our intestines that can help regulate everything from digestion to our immune system. They are even uncovering some major research right now that says it has to do with brain health and mental health.
The gut microbiome is so fascinating, and it's linked to so many things that I know I wouldn't expect, like mood and mental health.
Yeah, for sure. There's a strong gut-brain connection. When your gut microbiome is off balance, it can lead to issues like anxiety and depression, right? So pesticides, preservatives, additives, and processed foods, they can disrupt that balance, causing inflammation and other health issues. So cleaning up your diet can have a huge impact, not just on your physical health, but on your mental well-being too. So if you're looking for a place to start, like improving your gut health can go a long way to do that, right? Because I know this can all feel like a lot. It is a lot to take in, but the good news is you don't have to tackle it all at once. So if you want to dive deeper into this topic, I've got a free webinar coming up where we'll break down everything we talked about today in even more detail. It's called The Toxic Graveyard, and you will walk away with practical tips, recipes, even a coupon for some non-toxic products that I recommend.
Okay, listeners, you do not want to miss this. Lisa is a wealth of knowledge, and this webinar is going to be packed with actionable advice.
And I've done all the digging, all the research over the years, and now I'm ready to share everything with you. So we will break down what's in your everyday products, what to avoid, how to start making better choices. And it is happening on
October 17th at 6 p.m. Pacific and 9 p.m. Eastern.
And the best part is it's totally free. We like our free, right? The link will be in the show
We
notes.
love free.
Oh, yeah. The link will be in the show notes, but for those of you that are bit.ly knowledgeable, it's a bit.ly link, and it's just bit.ly/toxic graveyard, but I'll link it in the show notes.
That is such an amazing offer, especially for people like me who may be listening and feeling overwhelmed. But don't worry, Lisa's got us covered. This is her zone of genius. You will walk away knowing exactly what to look out for and with some easy swaps you can make today.
And more about the how do I figure this out easily topic. For anyone that attends, I'm offering a free copy of my Toxic Graveyard Potions list. Again, Halloween theme. That's the episode. Which will arm you with the list of the top toxins to watch out for so you can shop as an informed consumer easily.
All right, Drinks with the Girls sisters, I hope this episode has inspired you to start paying attention to what's in the products you use every day. I know it has inspired me. And remember, it's all about the small steps. You don't have to go crazy throwing everything out, but you can start making more informed choices.
Exactly. And the more we know, the more empowered we become. I cannot wait to see you all at the webinar. Hope to see a lot of you. It's going to be packed with information. We're going to have a lot of fun too.
I can't wait to see you dressed up.
Let's get to the real reason why you'll watch.
Can I dress up? Can I come dress up?
Totally.
I love dressing up.
And that's the other thing I should say is in case you're like, oh, I don't want to be on camera. Like, it's just me and my buddy doing this that are going to be on camera. So you don't have to worry about being on camera. You can just come and check it out.
Okay, well, I might still dress up.
In her mind.
So, right? Cheers to living boldly, staying curious, and taking care of ourselves inside and out.
Cheers!